This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Dwork. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Good to see you. You looking good?
I don't know about looking good. That's kind of a stretch for me. I could never look good, but that's very nice of you. Appreciate you. Panthers are looking good. I mean, it is just crazy, dude, to watch. Dare I say how complete they are?
No, they've built Bill Zito and his staff have built a really deep team. The moves they made in the offseason, like they're all for a reason. They're all paying off very well. It's almost like the fact that they had to start the year with the defenseman injured was kind of a positive thing for them because now they've got maybe one of, if not the deepest blue lines in the NHL. And the way that they play hockey. It's not just that they've built a really good team, like when they won the President's Trophy a few years ago and they were scoring goals like crazy. Now they've got a team that's not only good and talented, but built for the playoffs, specifically telling you that we are a playoff style hockey team. It's hard to poke holes in them right now. Oh,
No, dude, listen. What the theme song was a couple years ago. Meow, 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 meow. That's what I gave them because they were absolute wussies. And since Zito got there, he changed the entire tude of this team now. Yeah, they'll score on you, but now they're also willing to punch you in the mouth.
yeah.
And that's something that was not existing. It was developing last year, and that's the reason why they were able to, have success, but they weren't complete yet. This year, they are as complete as I've ever seen. Because, dude, remember, you and I had conversations 3 years ago when I'm pissed and I'm just watching, like the airplane scene. The woman's freaking out and everybody's in line to smack her around. That's exactly what they were doing to fucking Trocheck in every game. People would just take liberties and just take shots at Trocheck, and we wouldn't do shit about it. Those days are done, bro. That soft ass team from a few years ago, and then it just started to get tough because Zito got here and saw exactly what I saw. This team isn't tough. And then you had to bring in a coach also that wanted to bring that kind of an edge, because I think we've got to give also the coach who has an edge to him. You know what I mean? It's like he's a super classy guy, and then at the same time, he's wants to drop the hammer on your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I really love the way they have remolded the character of this team.
Yeah, and it started for Bill Zito's first moves were bringing in Patrick Hornquist, bringing in Radko Gudas, and it kind of all moved from that point on, setting the tone not just in the locker room, on the ice, just across the board, just a different mindset with this team. And since then, that work ethic, that hard nosed, and then as you said, adding Paul Maurice and the style that he brings, it all just kind of perfectly came together. And then, as we just said, the moves that he's made. From building from last year to this year, I think the big differences are between special teams being so much better than they were last year, but both on power play and penalty kill. And then just the progression of Paul Maurice's style. Like you saw it starting in the playoffs last year, how they were looking like a team built for this, and they've just continued on that path. They've gotten better and better at playing that style. And as we saw the other night against Tampa, it's a 9-2 game. Maybe you can let your foot off the gas a little bit. And then Matthew Tkachuk said, no, Tampa showed up for the third period and they said, no, we want to do this. And Florida's like, okay, cool. This is where we want to go anyway. So that they're built for this right now. The only thing you have to hope as a Panther fan is, that the injury bug doesn't come and bite you in the ass, because as this team is built right now, it's hard to see anybody that can knock them off in a 7-game series.
No, I know. That's why. I mean, it is so impressive to watch. It's exactly what we wanted. It's exactly what we've been clamoring for a while. And then, we've watched Verhaeghe's star rise here the last couple of years. And then what Reinhart has done this year. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, talk about putting no pressure, taking a load of pressure off Tkachuk and Barkov, because having Verhaeghe and then having Reinhart do what they're doing, are you freaking kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
They're blessed. They're very blessed. And then when you see what Kachuk has done, since he turned it on right around January 1st, it's pretty incredible what the Panthers forward depth is really able to do. Just thinking about Verhaeghe, like he's looking like he's going to be another 40-goal guy for the second straight year. He's going to probably have more points than he did last year. And this is a guy who's maybe the third or fourth guy that gets mentioned. And then, as you said, Sam Reinhart.
A clutch son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
A clutch son
he's
of
a shooter.
Yeah, but
thing.
A money shooter. There's a difference. There's the guy that can shoot all that, but when the pressure's on and you need something big, that's what I love about Verhaeghe. He's proven it since 3 years ago when he was playing with Hubie and Barkov that he was really the fire that year in the postseason. Overall, he's the guy that we like, oh, bro, he's the guy showing me more dog than the other guys. You know what I'm saying? And he has just, and then now Reinhart. Holy, did you see this coming?
No, I mean, who did? Did he see this coming? I mean, Paul Maurice has said that Reinhart put in a ton of work in the offseason. Like he kind of alludes to Reinhart recognizing this is his free agent year and he could potentially cash in if he does what he's doing. And I mean, look what he's doing. It's ridiculous. He's almost, what is he at, 39 goals? He's 1 away from 40 right now. And we still have like 30 games left in the season. It's pretty remarkable. And the guy has done it just like all these Panthers have. They just maintain at the same level. They're all so just chill and so professional, and they come to work and, and it's just a great group of guys. Like nobody's, he's not getting a big head. Nobody's getting a big head. Nobody's talking about how great they are. It's just when Bill Zito brought these guys in, it wasn't just the talent. Like he was looking at the good locker room guys as well. And it's just amazing what's blossomed here.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the stretch here. I mean, you think we can hang on here to the number 1 seed? Because that would be amazing to have home ice throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, the way that I kind of view the Panthers right now are like a diesel engine. Like they've warmed up, they're rolling right now. They're what's going to stop them is a potential something breaking down. As long as they stay healthy, I don't see really anything that's going to slow them. Just because they're not kind of raising up above anything. They're playing to their strengths. They're doing what they want to do. They're just rolling right now. There's nothing that's going to get in their way but themselves. As long as the Panthers continue to play this way and the goaltending doesn't fall off. And, that's another thing. This might be the best goalie tandem.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah.
They may have never had this good of a 1-2 punch in net because Bob is right now peak Bob in the Panthers uniform. Never been this consistent. And Anthony Stolarz. And this is a team that's been blessed with some solid backups over the years.
The best road goaltender in the NHL.
Yeah. Well, the best road team in the NHL. They work hand in hand.
Isn't Stolarz the best goalie on the road, like efficiently? Like, isn't that the deal?
That's really the best goals against, the best save percentage.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? This is crazy, but I'm going to tell you, it reminds me a little bit of the Dolphins. And I'll tell you why. I know you're going like,
no, let's go. No, I want to hear it.
Teron Armstead's a stud. This year they found the Kendall Lamb who filled in perfectly for him. They fucking found their Kendall Lamb at goalie, bro. I mean, they found a guy that can just step in and, there isn't a beat missed when Bob leaves. In fact, sometimes you might even get a better player on the road sometimes because Stolarz is so amazing to find. And by the way, kudos to the Panthers over the last few years. I think it was a fourth stringer that got us into the playoffs last year? Was he a third?
Well, that's the thing. They've had Alex Lyon. They've had Chris Driedger. They've had some very solid number 2s and number 3s.
Exactly. They've had some really good backups overall. This guy is better than all of them. I mean, wow, dude. It is amazing to watch Stolarz play.
Yeah, and he's built like an offensive lineman too. He's huge. And but no, it's credit to again, and they've got this goalie excellence department that the Panthers lean into that's led by Roberto Luongo and his brother Leo, and they do a great job. They found Anthony Stolarz and they recognized him as a very talented, perhaps undervalued goaltender that had been on some not so good teams. And he came here, and I mean, look what's happened. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but I mean, it's just this staff Bill Zito has built. They continue to just hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's like you still have to pay people, and they're still paying their people. You know what I mean? Which is kudos to that. That's the other thing. You get to cover a team that the ownership group doesn't give a shit. They want to win. They're not penny pinching. Whatever money's available, they're going to try to spend it to try to win. You know what I mean? And then you got the front office, and you got the coach, and you got the players. It's got to be a real pleasure for you to be able to cover this now, because there was so much incompetence with the Panthers for so many years. Now it's elite from top to bottom, dude, from ownership all the way down to the players.
No, it's great. I mean, when you see not just like obviously the money it's great that they invest, and I mean it makes sense. These are guys that have made their money. They've their careers as investors, so they see the potential with this team. They know what they could maximize if they invest. So it makes sense that they would be putting the money into it. But when you think of also the time and the effort and the hours that they spend, not just the front up, but when they hired Zito, what like Matt Caldwell and his guys did, and all the time they did just to bring him in, and then the coaching search, like everything. They're so meticulous about it. They pay attention to the analytics, but they don't just pay attention to, like, they have every facet covered. And it's a great thing that they've built here. And I think to your point, it's something that the longtime Panthers followers have deserved. They've seen this team in some low spots over the years. And so to see kind of everything running so well, and to see it performing, and to see just the right decisions being made, it's been a long time coming, but it's great to see. And they're deserving of what they hopefully are going to get in a couple of months, and in the next few years, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's hope so, man, because that would be really cool to see a Stanley Cup championship here in South Florida. Listen, man, this is what they have to do, and they've got the team across the state that is the biggest hurdle in front of you is right in your own state. So if you can overcome them, you can definitely win, the Stanley Cup. And so far, if I'm correct, they're 2-0 against Tampa this year so far, right? So
yeah, both of them in Tampa too.
All right, so we've got the Tkachuk matchup tonight. Talk to us a little bit. Give us a preview of the Senators.
Oh, I'm excited to kind of see. I don't want to say a continuation of the first game, just because, like, if you remember, there was like two big brawls in the third period and like 160 penalty minutes. So yeah, you don't want to encourage that, but it was a fun game to watch. So I'm excited to see kind of how it develops tonight. And I feel like the Tkachuk Bowl element is really, like, that didn't play a big part, and like Matthew did, like, but the two of them, they don't really, they don't mix it up. Like, I think they know better. They don't want Mama to be kicking their asses about it. But no, these are two teams. It'll be interesting. Ottawa's kind of out of it at this point. They're like, they're not going to be in the playoff mix. So a team like that can be a little bit dangerous, especially when you think Ottawa, they've got some talent. They've got some really good players. But Giroux, they've got Chychrun.
Load management in hockey? No, they don't do that in hockey.
Well, it's not. Yeah, but no, it should be a fun game tonight. We get to see Bob again. It's always a good time to see Bob, right?
It's always good, but it's just funny how one sport doesn't take the entire regular season serious, and then you watch hockey, which is 100 times more brutal than the NBA. They play as many games, and
we're talking about total different people, different athletes. Hockey players are a different breed. They could be 0-72, and they will give everything they have for the last 10 games of the year, just because it's a sport where you can't go 99%. You're going to get hurt if you go out there and you don't give everything you have every shift. And it's just the way that the game is. And basketball, you can jog.
It's a pleasure as a fan. You know what I mean? I've gotten to the point with basketball that I'm just like, I'm at wit's end with it. It's like, all right, guys, I'll check in for the playoffs,
We can compare it to like what we saw in the 90s and the 80s. And that was like so awesome.
Yes.
That's our bar. Like the new generation, they don't have that really to bring it down. They don't have that and I feel like we're getting into a whole other conversation here. But
no, but it's not a whole other conversation. It's really part of the conversation, because we need to give hockey more and more love for the fact that they actually provide the entertainment. They care about the product throughout the entire season, not just the postseason. So to me, and by the way, it's one thing. It shows you how much they care that seating just doesn't matter sometimes in hockey. Home ice just doesn't matter in hockey because nobody's mailing it in. It's what you said. If you don't get on that ice at 100, bro, you're gonna get schooled, and you're going to also get hurt at the same time. So to me, we have to mention this because when we have an entire sport that wants to take off the entire season and still charge their fans, meanwhile, hockey gives you your money's worth in every game. And by the way, you're watching your arena that you go to now every game pretty much full now.
Yeah. Well, it's also why hockey playoffs are the best playoffs, just because any team can win any series anytime. You never know what's going to happen. And, you know, in other sports, particularly basketball, you don't see those upsets very often in the playoffs. And, you know, with hockey, it's great. I love it. I feel like it's the best sport. I mean, hockey and football for me are like 1A and 1B, but I don't know, man, just something about hockey.
All right. What are you working on so folks can check you out and tell them about the podcast?
Yeah, right now, man, it's all happening at thehockeynews.com/Florida. You know, daily coverage of the Panthers. I'm also doing, as you mentioned, thank you for mentioning it. I'm doing a podcast with Roy Bellamy called The Hockey Show every week on the Levitard Network, and we're having a blast. We went to All-Star a couple weeks ago. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of Panthers coverage. And as you said earlier, it's a great time to be covering the Panthers, and that thought does not escape me at all. So lots of Panthers coverage for you.
And you've earned it, bro. So you've gone through all the tough times and enjoy the good ones now, baby, because
amen, brother.
Good times coming. Follow him on Twitter at David Dwork and catch him there doing his thing with the Hockey News. No PLG still anymore? You're not helping them out?
No, I'm still at PLG as well.
All right, so PLG too, and then obviously check out the podcast. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely. We'll catch up another time.
Brother, thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. There you go, David Dwork, baby. Panthers, by far, by miles, the best team in town. Can't wait to see the game tonight against the Senators. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to watch the Panthers.